ashubhani nirachaste tanoti subhasantatim smriti matrena yat pumsam brahmatan mangalam param ati kalyana rupatvat nitya kalyana samshrayat smatrunam varadatvacha brahmatan mangalam viduhu om karathascha sabdascha dvaveto brahmana pura kantham vitva vinirvyato tasmat mangulika bhuvo. Please repeat after me. Om atha, Om atha, Om atha. Yairime gurubhi purvam padavakya pramanatah vyakyata sarva vedanta stan nityam pranatosmyaham. Om sakhana bhavatu sahanau bhunakto sahaviryankaravavahai tejasvinavaditamas visavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Swamini ji has selected a very beautiful area from Brahmasutra, Introduction. Brahmasutras are by Vedāvyasa, Badrayana ji, Dvaipayan ji. 555 sutras are there. You are not going to study any of the sutras. You are getting introduction in the world Vedanta Shastra, most profound introduction ever written is called Adhyāsa Bhāṣya. My teacher, Svatmavidyananda ji, always followed this, introducing the Vedanta to a person who has no background. To introduce the subject matter, he always used this as his introduction, proving the Adhyāsa and need to get rid of it also. There is no problem, but there seems to be a problem. A sense of feeling is there. We have to get rid of it. But to prove the Adhyāsa, anyasmin anya avabhasaha atasmin tad buddhihi. In one thing you see another thing which is not there. Like taking rope as a snake. Snake is totally absent in the rope, but you may mistake rope to be snake, sky to be blue. This is called mistake, error, Adhyāsa. And different schools of philosophy also accept Adhyāsa. Anyasmin, anyavabhasa, they all accept. But how it happens, asat khyati, anyatha khyati, all these khyatis are there. Beautiful. So Swamini, I don't know, when you take off the flight, sometimes they say, lot of turbulence is going to there. But she is a good one who knows how to go through the turbulence, and she will manage very well. She is a wonderful teacher, and you are very lucky. And with a small group, we were both debating to take class here in the temple. We both decided to take in the temple. A small group, She can sit in a small chair and talk. Her Svarupa also is small, nicely. Very beautiful. So she is a wonderful teacher. And Vedanta tells one thing. All that you want to be is yourself. How come I don't know all that I want with myself? Because of self-ignorance. This is the capital with which start our life. We did not create it, it is there. Only waiting for it to go. The wake up of knowledge, self-knowledge. So, Adhyāsa Bhāṣya, Adhyāsa can go only by self-knowledge. I am son, I am a grandson, I am a dark, Krushoham, Sthuloham, Krishnoham, Krishna Keshoham, Karnoham. All these are Adhyāsa. I am dark. I have got so much weight. I got this gender. I am human being. I am diseased. I am old. This is all called Adhyāsa. What I am not, I am taking. The locus of Adhyāsa is I. I am mistaken. Therefore, the word I, aham, used by all generation, most misused, abused, disused word is I. Therefore, Swamini happily will help you to correct the confusion, self-confusion. Confusion born is all sorrow, all sadness, all suffering, all affliction. Unless Adhyāsa is removed, suffering cannot go. Anartha cannot go. It is a must to get rid of it. Therefore, how? Atato Brahma Jigyasa. Knowing, there is a desire to know Brahman. We don't say in Vedanta, I want to know me. I am already known to me. I am, I know. But I don't know what really I am. I am Brahman. And that knowledge, because of ignorance, has not taken place. So there is a desire that knowledge alone will knock off this Adhyāsa. Nothing else can do. We have tried so many things to get rid of all our human problem. Nothing works. Some symptomatic relief can come. Only thing which is going to work once and for all my suffering, is this self-knowledge. Therefore, there is the Atmavare, Drashtavya, Shrotavya, Mantavya. All these 555 sutras has one Shruti behind that. Shruti Vakya. One mantra from Veda, it discusses. Adhyāsa Bhāṣya is introduction. So enjoy that with Swamini. She told me 10 minutes, I'm over. Thank you so much. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti.
It is of no use to us unless one lives it in the everyday life. So Vedanta is a lived Vedanta. There is no other Vedanta. Unlike when confronted with hunger, you look for a recipe in a book or somewhere online. Then when you look at the recipe book, it says 1 cup of flour and sugar and so many things. The recipe does not fulfill the hunger, correct? Unless you eat the recipe itself. So, what do you have to do then? You have to actually go get the ingredients and do what it says, right? You have to actually mix the things and then heat the things and add the water and cook in numerous ways like fry it, bake it, boil it, whatever the mode of cooking might be. And then you can fill this hunger. But the hunger that brings us to a place like this for study is not a hunger that's going to wait. This This hunger, the name for this hunger in Sanskrit is mumuksha, moktumicha, the desire to be free of what we will see, of anything that I don't want, of sorrow, of fear. And then the other word for this hunger is jignasa, jnatum ichha, the desire to know. So this is what the hunger is like. And if Vedanta were like a recipe book, first you learn how to cook, you put the various ingredients together, and then the desire to know the self, the desire to be free from sorrow and from fear is then going to be satisfied. If that is the case, then we are in trouble. Because we are in trouble for many reasons. The first reason we are in trouble is because we have a problem. Why? Because what brings us to this teaching, to this knowledge, and to the desire to seek help is not gaining whatever we want to gain in the realm of action. This is very important to understand. Action is of no use. And how do we know that? We know that because we have acted and acted and acted and acted and enacted a few dramas in the life. And repeatedly, and what has happened? Nothing has happened. This is what the whole thing is. And so the action itself, what does it do? It just reproduces itself into result of action. And the results of action are twofold. The results of action basically, things happen that I want to happen or things happen that I don't want to happen. And when things turn into something that I don't want it to happen, then I have to do more action in order to fix that. And fix that. So whole life is fixing things with the help of action. And this fixing puts one in a fix. That's really what it does. That's all it does. One is in a big fix. What to do. Nothing works. Been there, done that, tried this, tried that. Wanted this, didn't get that. Then wanted something else, did not get that either. This is the issue here. And therefore, we have to change the gears to address this hunger. Because this is a hunger that is a universal hunger. You go to Alaska, ask somebody, do you have a longing? Are you happy? They will say, yeah, it's okay, but I haven't accomplished this and I haven't done that. Then you go to Greenland. Why Greenland? Because it's in the news these days. Yeah. So then you go to Greenland, ask somebody there. And they will also say the same thing. There is a longing. And what is a longing? A longing is a sense of no belonging. That's really what it is. There seems to be a hunger to be noticed, a hunger to stop judging oneself. I seem to have this hunger to drop the criticism of myself and of others. And this hunger that is forever unfed by any kind of methods that I have employed. In Eastern cultures, we have a concept This is actually coming up in September. They have a fortnight dedicated to the ancestors, ancestor festival. And in places like Singapore, etc., Thailand, they have this ancestor. An ancestor gone rogue, some ancestors go rogue, and these ancestors are called hungry ghosts. You've heard of that. And these hungry ghosts, there is a photo, or not a photo, but a depiction, a drawing. And if you see the drawing, it's got a large stomach. It's some kind of an androgynous entity with a large stomach and a needle-like throat. So the hunger is there, but it cannot be filled. It will not accept what is given. It can only take in little bits, and so it's forever hungry. And these are the kinds of ancestors that are propitiated through this festival, through this certain rituals, and offerings are made with the prayer that may you be able to fulfill this hunger. They won't, because the belief in the tradition is that after that what happens? They come back. Kshine Punye Bhagavad Gita says, Martyalokam Vishanti. They come back. Why? Because they want a body. This is all there in the Tibetan book of death and dying. Very interesting book. So they come back because they are hankering after a body. Because only when one is embodied can you fulfill all these desires and try to fill this hunger. There seems to be nothing there. And that hunger is for validation, that hunger is for some kind of an attention, that hunger is for being loved constantly and being acknowledged, being, noticed. And this is this hunger. And this hunger is not like a recipe hunger where you have to do something and then fulfill it, because one has already come to Vedānta or any kind of a spiritual learning after trying out every single trick in the book. Tried this, tried that, been there, done that, check, 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 check. And so, with a checkered past, one comes, And so therefore, the approach is different. Because what one is trying to fill is a very funny thing. The heart that is empty, or the heart that is hurt, or the heart that is full of judgments about itself, about the world, even about the Lord. This heart is, seems to bother one only at certain times and not at certain others. There itself is a clue. Because in sleep, where is the hunger? Where is the hunger to be noticed, to be loved? Where is the self-judgment? Where is the self-loath? Where is this sense of insecurity that I'm not okay and I don't have enough, I'm not enough? What happens to it? Where did it go? Then we say that, the next thing is that even while waking up, even during the waking state, without any desire being fulfilled, there is what? There is some kind of a contentment sometimes that suddenly comes. And even if you are confronted with the most annoying thing in life, you're able to just look at the person and say, have a good day. They don't bother you because somehow you are okay and then everything else is okay. Somebody wrote a book, I am okay, you are okay. Yeah. It's all okay. And so, therefore, this is something which is very nice to see and nice to understand, that this self-judgment is not something that is constant. There is a respite. And that respite keeps one going, keeps one having a certain hope that, that there is something there. And this wanting, needing, self-judging I is not the reality. It's not at all the reality. The reality is something, different. And how does one know it? Because one has experienced it. But it appears to be elusive, because as soon as one experiences a few moments of contentment, then it is clouded or overshadowed by some judgment or some fear or some sorrow, anger, so many things as a result of this. So therefore, the whole life is a struggle to get back to this center that one knows and one loves being, which is called Atma, I, which is the subject matter of Vedanta. This is what the whole thing is. Because even during the waking state, nothing, no desire is fulfilled, but you see the sunrise. Here, of course, we wake up for puja, so you do see the sunrise. And then you can, for no reason you smile. You see a small child, and you smile. And then you are able to see some flowers in bloom, you're able to smile. And then what happened to all this hunger? It is gone in an instant. In an instant it's gone, it's really gone. Leading one to the conclusion, even without attending a single Vedanta class, one has come to this conclusion. And what is this conclusion? My nature is that of contentment. Tushtaha. Atmani eva atmana tushtaha. There is this tushti, or satisfaction or contentment centered on the self. And that contentment is variously called happiness, etc., whatever you want to call it. I'm okay. This is who I am. And this other person is an imposter. It's not me. And universally people say this. I don't know why I got angry. That angry person, not me. The anxious person, not me. The fearful person, that is not me. Without Vedanta you know this. You don't need to study Adhyāsa Bhāṣya. You know this already. The troubled person, not me. The sad, depressed person, not me. The annoying person, not me. The boring person, not me. And this one already knows. One knows with a certain, with certainty. Not only that, even pharmaceutical companies seem to know the swarupa of the human being. That's why they are keeping on manufacturing more and more anti-anxiety medicines, because they also know this is not your swarupa. Swarupa means nature. That's why there are more and more antidepressants, anti-this, anti-that, Even they know this is not you. And how does this masquerade, or this, we can use the word now, superimposition of the angry, fearful, tearful, impatient, anxious, judgmental, self-judgmental and judgmental about the universe, how does this superimposition take place? Upon what? If my nature is to be happy, then why am I constantly carrying this imposter and letting them run the show? This is the question that should bring us to the spiritual plane. Why am I letting them run the show? What is going on here? And this is what is the crucial question that is answered by the text that we are going to study. It is written by a sage called Adi Shankara, who is credited with being a very important person in the line of teachers. Even Vyasa was not the first teacher. There was no first teacher because it's an unending lineage of teachers. And so in this unending lineage of teachers, Shankara's life is like a bright comet, short and, brilliant. And he has written something called Bhāṣya, a particular kind of a commentary, which we'll see in detail tomorrow. And this is the Bhāṣya to a text which is studied later, much later in one study called Brahmasutras. And sutra means aphorism. And so there is something in the form of small, short, pithy aphorisms which analyze all the Upanishads. So therefore, to study the Brahmasutra, what should we have done? We should have studied the Upanishads. Because an unstudied Upanishad cannot be analyzed. And so therefore, we are not going to be looking into the Brahmasutra. But there is something about this introduction that bears understanding, that is, important to study. Because we get closer to a lived Vedānta, where we try to, see the nature of the self as opposite to this imposter that we have encountered. Something that is, I want to encounter in myself a compassionate, accommodative, commodious individual who has a lot to give. That's what everybody wants to be. Patient, accommodative, reaching out, easygoing. That's what one wants to be, helpful. And so that is already oneself. And so therefore, that's why this is not something that is gained with the help of what? With the help of action. That's why we have to enter the realm of knowledge, because if I'm already what I want to be, then what stops me from living that? If there is something in the way, that has to be removed. And what is in the way is called Atma Ajnanam. And what is this Ajnanam? Ignorance regarding my nature. And that ignorance is beautifully put here as a mistake, a missed take on the self. Yeah, a missed take. I miss the self, literally and figuratively. I miss myself. I don't know, I know I'm somebody other than what I am, and I miss that true self. Therefore, it's a missed take. And also I miss seeing it because I have taken it to be something other than what it is. This is what is the meaning of adhi plus asaha. Asaha, throwing, to throw. Yeah, as, to throw. And then adhi means, you throw on top of something. Like some color on a canvas, modern painting, Yeah, there's even cats and dogs do that now. There are coffee table books. I went to somebody's house for bhiksha, cat painting. And I don't know whether the cats were really so skilled or whether the owners helped by taking the paws and putting them on the thing. So cat painting, what is this? So you have a canvas and then the colors are thrown, all splotches of color. And then what? And then you have, a wonderful thing. You don't know what it is, but it is something. Yeah. It is, that adhi portion is the screen, the canvas, asaha is the color put by the cat or, anything. Yeah. Or even sometimes, modern painters. You can't tell them apart from cat paintings. Yeah. Very abstract. So then that is what is adhyasa. And here the screen is you. And the various colorations, sometimes unfortunately discolorations, and the various things that are thrown is what? That is what has to be examined. That is what perhaps doesn't belong. Or that is what has to be seen as separate from the canvas upon which it is projected. Adhyasa, projection. And the projection naturally is of two kinds. You can have a positive projection. I am great. I am the best, east or west. That is one form of adhyasa. Or I'm nobody, I'm an idiot, I'm no good, why me? Negative adhyasa. And the positive adhyasa in Sanskrit is called shobhana adhyasa. And the negative adhyasa in Sanskrit is called ashobhana adhyasa. Very simple. See how easy Sanskrit is. Very simple. And so, this is what we are going to see, so that we can familiarize ourselves with that screen, which is big enough to project these colors without taking anything on to itself. That core of myself, which is untouched by sorrow, fear, pain, etc., I need to get to know intimately. And this is a journey in the next coming few days. And regardless of what you may have heard about Adhyāsa and this text that we are going to study, I don't want you to get intimidated, because I haven't even looked at the book. I'm going to do so now. And I did, compile it, but I haven't seen it in this lovely prepared manner. So we have, when you look at the thing, it's, like for example, if you look at page 3 or 11, your choice, and do you want a book? And one for Aishwarya too? Yeah. So, page 3 or 11, your choice. And you see, if you can't read Sanskrit, doesn't matter. Just look at the number of lines. 1, 2, 3, you can count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 6.5 lines is one sentence. Okay? Yeah. With intense compounds. But despite that, I don't want you to get worried. It's the vision that matters, and it is my job to convey the vision. It's not your problem to worry about how this vision will come, especially if I don't know Sanskrit or not. Don't worry. This is the grace of the teacher. That Swami Pratyabodhananda was mentioning. That our teacher, Pujya Swamiji, Swami Dayananda ji, taught in such a way that he could make everyone understand. And with his grace operating, I hope that whatever vision he has set forth in all of his students comes across. That is the hope. So don't worry about the Sanskrit. And before that, we have 10 chants that are normally chanted for the Brahmasutra and before Brahmasutra studies, and that you will be studying in the chanting class. That will be very nice. Please go to the chanting class so that you can get these chants under your belt. And the evening class will be something slightly, different. It's a small section from this thing that I have been teaching whenever I teach here, Bodhasara, which is a very big text, but there's a small excerpt, Kaya Vidambana, and various stages of the body. What does the body do? How does the body deceive you? How it, makes us forget about the limitations. So that is basically what the whole thing is. And so it's going to be a journey. And I promise that we will dabble in the Sanskrit. And some of it we will be understanding it. But what I promise is that whatever I say in Sanskrit, I will also say in English. So you don't have to worry about, missing out something. Okay? And then the person who is teaching the Sanskrit class, I'll ask them to explain some of the terms that we are going to encounter, so that there is a certain little bit of a revision rather than a grammar class to go over certain words and their meanings. I think that will be helpful. And then what else? You know the schedule. One small change in the schedule, the evening class usually is from 5 to 6. I think we should keep it that way. Yeah, because what time is, yoga is 3:15 still? 3:15 to 4:15, yeah. Then that's why this class will be at 5. So you can have some time to go take a shower and, drink something or whatever you want to do. And then, come to class here at 5 o'clock and we'll finish at 6 and we can go to the, people who want to go can go to the evening puja. Okay? Yeah. Are there any questions? Yes, Bob. I think, I think we'll just leave ourselves to discover whatever happens and go with it. Yeah. So, yes, I agree with you. But this is what has been given, and we'll go with what is given right now. Because what is given is a blessing, and it's a real blessing to be sitting in this, having this wonderful room all to ourselves, which is very, very nice. So, if it happens in the temple, it's a small enough group, we will know, and we will go there, but looks like we are going to be here. That's what it appears to be. Yeah. Other questions? Okay, so we will close. You can take some rest, and we will meet for meditation at 7 o'clock. That is also here? Okay, all right. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah, Sarve Santu Niramayah, Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu, Ma Kaschid Dukkha Bhag Bhavet, Asato Ma Sadgamaya, Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya, Mrityor Ma Amritangamaya. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Thank you. Thank you, Monica. My slippers are there, so I'll go there. I'll go get it.